What's up, guys? In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the fastest path to get more water damage leads coming into your restoration business. Not only are we gonna talk about what's the fastest, at the end, I'll tell you what I think is the best. And we're also gonna break down all the different ways to get leads from here in between, from using emergency response plans to trying to get stuff from insurance agents, paid advertising, organic, email marketing. We're gonna break it all down today. Here's the deal. If you own a restoration company and you wanna get more water damage leads, you do not wanna miss this video. Let's go. All right, guys, as we get started, do me a favor, hit the like and the subscribe button, drop a comment down below, and let me know where you're tuning in from. All right, guys, so in just in no particular order, I'm gonna go through these things. I'm gonna give you the various ways that you can get water damage leads. I'll give you some pros and some cons, tell you a little bit about them, and at the end, I will share with you what I think is the best and what I think is the fastest, and I'll let you decide for yourself. So, no further ado, let's jump in. All right, so I'm gonna start right at the top, and I've got the internet at the very beginning. The internet has changed a lot, okay? There have been moments where it made a whole bunch of money, and then there's times where it gets to be a little more competitive, but here's what I will tell you. Some of you guys are not using the internet because you've had a bad experience, or you're just not using it because you're an old guy. I'm just telling you, if you're not using the internet to get water damage jobs coming into your business, you are missing out, okay? Upwards of 20% of your revenue could be coming from this stuff, water damage anyway, okay? The internet is a really big source. The internet paid ads will be your biggest jobs. Your biggest jobs. Why? Because after hours, nobody knows who to call, okay? And I'm just telling you, you are gonna get your largest jobs coming from the internet after hours, and many times they will be commercial, okay? So the internet is really good for large jobs. Why? Because you can't wait. And a lot of times that will happen after hours because there's nobody else to call. The insurance agent is asleep, even though plumbers run 24-hour services. A lot of them don't answer the phone either. Can't tell you how many people don't answer the phone. Answer your freaking phone, your 24-hour day business. Answer your phone, guys. Those are $50,000 phone calls. Answer your phone, all right? So the internet's a great way to get good, large jobs coming in the door, okay? Now, I break the internet up into two buckets. One is paid advertising, and the other one's gonna be organic. Organic's a little more simple, so let's tackle organic first. Organic means you're not paying to show up on the internet, okay? So there's different ways to handle paid ads, but in the organic, I basically have this broken down into Google Maps, okay? And that basically is this. When someone is doing a search online, certain people, they'll click on an ad because they're gonna click on the first thing they see. There's other people that think they're a little more savvy, I guess, and they can recognize the ads from not ads. And they, I don't know if that's not ads. They can recognize which ones are ads, and they're not gonna click on those. So they're gonna go down to the Google Maps section. I know for me, I will typically click down there because I know that that is a local business, and I know that Google does a lot of work to make sure that the algorithm populates a name, and they give me, as someone that is offering what I want, okay? And they will show me their name along with Google reviews, right? And because I wanna know who can I choose, and what does everybody think about them? That's what I want to know, okay? And so that's why I put Google Maps right there, right? Now, there's other ways to get organic stuff too. One of them could be Yelp. Yelp has there's a lot of organic reach in Yelp. I personally don't like Yelp. I've never been a big fan of them. I've tried to do business with them before. Here's what I felt like. And I say this because it's been a long time, but I felt like we ran paid ads on there and we had so many reviews from Yelp. And then the minute we turned off the paid ads, our good reviews disappeared and negative reviews showed up. And I was like, that feels kind of weird. I just didn't really like the way that it worked. It felt a little bit sleazy and grimy. And I've had a lot of other people share that experience. So for me, I never did like Yelp. That being said, I do know a lot of people that do very well with Yelp, okay? Look, even if I didn't like them, if they could bring me a lot of revenue into my business and it worked, I'd probably use them. But if it's kind of a so-so deal and I don't like you, no thanks, okay? But Yelp can be organic too. They have paid ads as well, but some people get work from the organic side, all right? I'm just throwing that out there to be all inclusive, all right? Now, there's other ways to get organic marketing as well, like blogging and SEO stuff, but we're not gonna be talking about that for the for the purpose of this video, because this is water damage restoration. And back in the day, you could do blogs and SEO, and we'll cover that in the content marketing section of this video, okay? But we're not putting it right up front in the internet. Because most people don't Google water damage restoration and then look for an article to read, okay? They're not interested in reading an article. Like maybe mold, that might be something they would go for. Certainly encapsulating a crawl space, they're gonna think about it. They're gonna do a lot of diligence. Maybe a remodeling contractor, they're gonna think about it. But with water damage restoration, that water's either there or it's not. and they're not usually going to do a lot of research before they call somebody. Usually not. So for that reason, I've got the organic stuff limited to Google Maps, okay? So Google Maps is probably the best way to get organic leads from the internet, right? Now, the next thing I'll say about Google Maps is this. Google Maps takes a little while. If you're in year one of the business, Google Maps is probably not going to drive a lot of business to you, okay? It takes a little while to show up in the little Google 3-pack. In case you've ever seen it, Google Maps will show like 3 businesses, maybe 4 sometimes, and usually you've got to get some Google reviews accumulated, and you've got to get your GMB, your Google My Business site, optimized so that it appears like there's different tags you can put on there. You can put some blog posts on there to state who you are and what you do. There's different ways that you can get your GMB shiny. That's what I'll call it, shiny. Visible, you got to be on there. Shiny's number 2. You got to get Google reviews, and you got to get it all primed up. For me, SEO these days in 2024, that's what I would hire a company to do, okay? If I was going to hire a company to do SEO for me, I would have them optimize my Google Maps page because that's really where you're going to get the driving in the business. Not only that, also in your Google My Business page or your local service ads or Google Guaranteed, it'll get into that as well. We'll get into that in just a second. But just to put a bow on the Google Maps stuff, it takes a little while to show up. That's going to be, I wouldn't focus a lot in Google Maps in the very beginning. Your first 6 months, okay, you've got to get business coming in the door right away. Google Maps usually probably going to take a little bit longer than that, okay? But Google Maps is definitely a long-term play that I want to focus on between month 6 and month 18. And that's the gift that keeps on giving. Once you get your Google Maps all set up and shiny and it's all working, man, it's really nice to have that because there's nothing better than free leads coming in your business, okay? And Google Maps will give that to you, all right? Now, let's talk about paid advertising. There's a handful of different things that we can talk about in paid advertising. Let's talk about just to get leads in, okay? So Google AdWords, that's where Google will sell you like pay-per-click, okay? Google AdWords, like, so if someone says water damage restoration contractor, Nashville, Tennessee, then there's gonna be like 3 or 4 links that will pop up at the top of the page, and those are gonna be AdWord links, okay? Now, that little section will also have pay-per-call companies that are competing with your Google AdWord link right there. Usually, if you own a restoration company, you're gonna hire a marketing agency to run your AdWords campaign for you, okay? And in many of those companies, they'll probably charge you anywhere from $500 to $3,000 or $4,000 a month to manage the fees, and then you'll spend like anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 a month on those things. Here's what I'll tell you. If you're gonna spend money on AdWords, spend enough to make a difference and make sure you're not using an idiot, okay? Some of these dudes don't know what they're doing when it comes to running AdWords. Like they know how to run them for most businesses, but restoration is different. Restoration is different, okay? Restoration is one of the few industries where you can go buy the keywords that says ServPro or Paul Davis, and like you might want to appear there. While they're looking for ServPro, they click on ServPro. I want it to run to my ad, okay? And so that's something that is unique to restoration, not to garage door companies, not to plumbers. That's unique to restoration because these are emergency response deals. Here's my point. Most Google AdWords marketing agencies, most of them don't do water damage restoration, okay? And if they don't, their approach may be different and it may not translate to equal success for you, okay? If you stick with them, they can probably learn it, but you gotta stick with them, man. And most of you restoration guys fire them too quickly. I know that I did the same thing, but I'm just saying that's the way it works. I don't suggest doing AdWords in the very beginning. If you're trying to get the fastest water damage leads, go to workwithshane.com. We got a little 30-day program, and I'll walk you through. I'm going to tell you today what the fastest is, but we show you and try and help you get this stuff set up, right? Workwithshane.com will tell you more. But I wouldn't do Google AdWords in the first 30 or 40 days just because you got to find the marketing agency, you got to get everything set up, you got to get onboarded, and then it still takes anywhere from 60 to 90 to 100 days to get your account seasoned if you've never been running ads. And here's what I'm telling you, that'll take you longer. There's faster ways to get jobs other than Google AdWords. But Google AdWords is really good. Once you're on month 4 or 5 of your business, yes, you should probably run some Google AdWords. So that's Google AdWords, right? Now the next thing is, what if you don't want to run AdWords? What else can you do? You can pay a company like 33-mile radius or Service Direct, okay, and they will go run an ad and they will sell you. So the first one, Google AdWords, is a pay-per-click, all right? This is what they'll do, a pay-per-call for the most part. You can run click-to-call campaigns on Google AdWords, but we don't want insider baseball there, right? Well, let me just tell you what that means while we're here. If you're doing a search on the computer and you say, I need help with water damage in Topeka, Kansas, you can click it and it'll take them to a web page. That's a pay-per-click. They're paying for a click. However, if you're on your phone and you click that, sometimes if you ever Googled something and you'll click the link, it'll pop up, says, do you want to call them? And so it doesn't take you to a web page, but rather it takes you directly to a call. You can run two types of ads. You can run one ad to a landing page, pay-per-click, or you can run one ad to a phone call, pay-per-call. Now, that brings me, you can do that with Google Ads as well, right? But that brings me to my next point, or my next way to get leads, which are pay-per-call companies. There are several companies that will sell you phone calls just like this, 33-mile radius, service direct. These are examples of them, okay? And you can buy a live phone call because all these companies are doing, they're running the ad, so you don't have to hire a marketing agency, and someone's clicking it, and they're transferring that live customer that just clicked that thing to your phone. And that call will cost you anywhere from $500 to $2,500, depending on where you're at, okay? I know it can be pretty expensive, but you know, if you know what you're doing with water damage restoration, these jobs can be worth, you know, $7,000, $10,000. So it is what it is. And sometimes even more than that. Okay. But that's a pay-per-call deal. And I would suggest that over my AdWords in the very beginning, because you don't have to go hire. They've already got this stuff set up. They're running these ads already without you doing it in your market. Okay. The bigger thing you'll find is those companies are already full because they're only going to bring on so many contractors and they'll just put it in a rotation. So we talked about organic. We talked about Google AdWords, okay? Pay-per-click, this is the pay-per-call stuff. There's a series of companies like 33, Service Direct, etc., that will give you a pay-per-call, okay? They may also do a pay-per-lead. Some will do like a form submission where if they click the information or they click a link, it says, give me your information and we'll call you right back. That's a pay-per-lead. But here's the idea. You're not paying a budget per month. They're giving you a per lead or a per call basis, okay? So those are your pay-per-call companies. Now, here's another one to talk about, Google Guaranteed or local service ads, all right? This one's a little bit different. I think I would call Google so here's what I think Google Guaranteed is, or LSA. Most of us restoration contractors are freaking cavemen, all right? We're barely good to like use a fork and a knife when we eat. We typically eat with our hands. We're messy. We're just dumb contractors for the most part, okay? We're cavemen. A lot of us don't go hire marketing agencies. So what they try to do is simplify the advertising process. And basically they're trying to make a blend of the Google ads, the pay-per-click, and they're marrying that with the pay-per-call services that you've seen before. And Google Guaranteed is just that. You can sign up. It's a pay-per-lead deal, right? And they sell you live phone calls. But let's say normally if you're paying 33-mile radius, $700 for that phone call, you might get that phone call from Google Guaranteed for $190 or $300, depending on what market you're in. Probably going to be closer to $300. But here's my point. They will be substantially cheaper in most cases, okay? And it's from Google. So it will still also have the reviews there. Now, here's the deal. Not everybody has Google Guaranteed or local service ads in their market. Some of them do, some of them don't, and they put you at the very top. But Google Guaranteed, they're only going to show, I think, the first 3 or 4 companies, again, on LSA. And if you're not in those first 3 or 4, most people just click on whatever they see first, okay? So it's a lot like Google Maps. A lot of people aren't going to expand what's there so they can see what's below it. They're going to click on one of the first 3 or 4. And if you're not showing up in the first 3 or 4, you're not going to be getting any clicks. So hopefully that's helpful on the internet. You got your paid advertising and your organic, and that's that, right? But the internet, you should be doing stuff with the internet, and you should be getting somewhere near 20% of your jobs or values or leads coming from that. And your biggest jobs you will get will come after hours from the internet, and they'll be commercial. So there you go. Now, the next thing is we're going to talk about referrals, okay? Referrals is another way to get water damage leads, and you can get referrals from a hand of different sources. You can get referrals from insurance agents, you can get them from plumbers, you can get them from property managers, you can get them from networking groups like BNI. These are going to be where human beings are telling other human beings about you, okay? So let's just start right at the top with insurance agents. Can you get jobs from insurance agents? Absolutely. A lot of times if you're working insurance agents, they might tell you that they don't see a lot of claims. And if they don't, that's fine. They see questions. And if you go to the Work with Shane program, I'll have an entire training module set up to teach you all about that, okay? There's a certain way you need to approach insurance agents, okay? They don't see claims, they do see questions. And you need to ask for the questions, don't ask for the claims. Now, here's the deal with insurance agents. They don't see many claims, and most likely you're gonna go in there and ask for claims, and that's not what you should be doing. You should be asking for questions. They do get questions all the time. Problem is you're not asking for questions, you're asking for claims, and they send someone they know, like, and trust to go look at the questions. And those questions turn into be, you got it, claims, okay? So, and that, when you don't learn how to do that, insurance agents send somebody out, and the next thing you know, green truck is sitting in the driveway. If you don't know what a green trucker is, it's ServPro, all right? So insurance agents are really good, okay? But they're not really easy to penetrate if you don't know what you're doing, okay? And then here's one of the problems and downsides with insurance agents are this. They'll give you really wide service radiuses, okay? Because a lot of people, they can write a policy typically anywhere in the state, not just right up close to where you want to be. So they will send you further than other people will, okay? An insurance agent will send you an hour, 2 hours away because they will write a policy a couple hours away. And the other thing is this, a lot of homeowners, they might live in this area today, but then they sell their house, okay? And they buy a new one 45 minutes away or an hour or 2 hours away. They're going to keep their agent if they can. Why? Because you don't want to go change those things if you don't have to. That's a hassle. So the insurance agent wants to keep the policy. The person doesn't want to go through the hassle of having to get new quotes. If the agent can just continue to take care of them, they're going to give them the business. And they will, and they do. But the problem is this. What used to be a 15-minute ride for you is now 2 hours, and that is not fun. Insurance agents will do that. Longer, wider service radiuses. That's a negative of the insurance agent. The other side is this. They'll give you a lot of things that aren't necessarily water damage related. You might think that's great, but a lot of times you'll think what might be water is not going to be something from water. Maybe it's a roof leak that's not big enough for a pipe leak, and like there's nothing there for you to do in restoration for water damage. Maybe you're a roofer, but I'm just saying they're going to give you a lot of different stuff that's not going to be claims. They're going to be smaller, lower ticket deals, a lot more cash stuff, because if they knew it was going to be a claim, they had already sent them to the 1-800 number. So you're going to get a lot lower ticket deals from the insurance agents, not quite as big of jobs in many, many cases. Now, one of the pros about insurance agents, man, they are so allegiant to their insurance agents. I have seen so many people, if that insurance agent says use Shane, dude, they will wait. They will let their house sit there in water for 5 days waiting on Shane to show up, okay? Because they see that insurance agent as an extension of the insurance company. And while that might be true, it's really not, okay? The insurance agent is there to sell the policy. Once that's done, that's it. Okay, they have nothing to do with claims. An insurance agent can't help get it covered. An insurance agent cannot help get it covered. They can't. I mean, they can do whatever they can do, but in the end of the day, the insurance agent and the adjuster department are in different departments. Why? Because the agent probably would try to cover things they shouldn't cover because they don't want to lose a policy. Well, the adjuster ain't cut from that cloth, baby. They don't care about that. They're going to work on behalf of the adjustment team. So these guys, you got sales and operations, right? They're on different sides of the coin. So I'm just telling you, the insurance agent can't usually do very much to get something covered. We would do it much better at our own company in doing restoration by positioning the claim. That would be more beneficial than talking to the agent. All right, so that being said, insurance agents, yes, I love them. You can get jobs from them. There are pros, there are cons, but let's keep moving. Let's talk about the next one, property managers. So here's about property managers. They know a lot of, they have a lot of units. That's a pro. But the problem with property managers is this. They can't write you a really big check in most cases. They don't own, it's a property manager, not a property owner, okay? So the property managers are gonna be giving you a lot of cash jobs. If it is an insurance claim, they're gonna be hairy claims. They're gonna be hairy claims. And the property manager still doesn't own the property. So who's signing your work authorization? Who is signing your work authorization if it is a claim? Here's what I'm telling you. Property managers are pretty good, but they're going to be good for cash jobs, okay? They're good for small cash jobs, usually more for repairs than mold or water damage because they're not going to want to pay the money that it takes to get it remediated properly or mitigated properly, okay? Because they want a cash deal, and you want that bigger ticket item, right? So, like, I'm just saying there's conflicting interest. And the next thing about property managers is this. They don't want a lot of friction out of this thing, okay? They want you to get in and get out, not run up a big bill. But guess who wants the crap done right? The freaking renter, okay? And the renter is going to smell mold. They're going to be the ones pointing out the fact that you left mold there, you left it wet because the property manager wasn't willing to pay you what they needed to pay you to do what you needed to do. And I'm just telling you, you might find yourself between a rock and a hard place. I'm going to say this again. Property managers can be pretty good when you're getting started, when you're doing repairs. We did a lot of work for property managers doing construction and reconstruction odds and ends, all right? But when we got into water damage restoration, it didn't make any sense anymore. Now, some guys do really well for property managers when you're doing fires or roofing. I get that, okay? Those are obvious claims, but that's not what I do, baby. I'm a water damage restoration guy, okay? And that's what we focus on. So if you're doing fire, maybe. If you're doing roofing, maybe. But if you're doing water damage restoration, listen to me. Property managers ain't what you want. They're not what you want, okay? You can get some work from them, but when you try to convert over to water, they're not going to give you what you want. Let's talk about networking groups. These are going to be like BNI. Here's the deal with networking as well. For water damage, you'll get very little from them, okay? You'll get very little because nobody says, man, I got water damage. Who's in a BNI network that I know I can call? Like, it doesn't work that way. Now, mold, you'll have that. Reconstruction, absolutely, because a lot of people are sitting around for weeks waiting on the recon to get started. They wait around hours to get the water started, if that, okay? So you've got weeks to get the recon done or weeks to get the mold done because it's already there. Whereas with water, you got hours. So the referral network is not going to be as good for water damage. Now, I know some other guys that do really well with contents and they do well with recon and they do well with roofing for that, okay? Because like that's not an emergency project. That's not an emergency deal. When it comes to water damage, like those BNI stuff, they won't give you that much. You might meet a couple good plumbers. You might meet a couple good agents. It will help you learn how to speak and get over your fear of speaking. So I suggest you should do it for that reason alone, but don't walk in and out of there expecting to land a whole lot of water damage jobs, okay? Mold, yes. Recon, yes, but water damage, no, all right? That's my deal on networking groups. Now, that brings me to plumbers. In case you guys don't already know, I love plumbers, man. Plumbers are freaking, they are awesome. They give you a tight service radius because a plumber's not going to drive all the way across town to go change out a leaky commode, right? A plumber's also good because renters don't like to pay for expensive plumbers. And if you're buying leads off the internet, you are going to get a lot of renters, okay? Like they don't know who to call, and they didn't even call their landlord in this case because they called an ad off the internet and they got you. So you might have paid $400, $500, $600, $700 for a renter who can't even sign your contract, which you should be disputing that call, by the way, because when you're using those pay-per-call stuff, they should be giving you guaranteed leads where you're going to be talking to the owner or a decision maker, and a renter is not a decision maker. So here's what I'm telling you. Plumbers that charge a lot of money, renters don't pay a lot of money, okay? So you want to work with expensive plumbers, not just any plumber. If you work with a broke plumber, you're still going to be working with them broke renters. Don't do that, okay? But expensive plumbers are good because they'll make sure that you're not working with renters. They'll give you tighter service radiuses, okay? And you will get cleaner jobs. You're not going to be getting like the roof leaks. You're going to be getting water damage jobs, leaking pipes, leaking commodes, sewer backups, the stuff that dreams are made of. That's what we're looking for, okay? When it comes to referrals, plumbers, the best, okay? The best. Now, let's get down to another one, which is going to be content marketing. And this is going to be something that this is coming a little bit more online again these days. Content marketing is something like this, social media marketing. You guys are watching me do this right now in content marketing. And I tell you what, for most of you guys, content marketing is not a thing that you should be messing with. And here's the reason why I say that. Because most of you are so weak in the internet and so weak in referrals from plumbers that you need to go button that up first, okay? Go button that up first before you do the content stuff. But that being said, content marketing does come into play, and here's where it comes into play. Specifically in hiring, there are a lot of people that have water damage, just ran. Like I just moved here to Florida, okay? I've only been here like 8 weeks, and I've already seen, and this is a brand new house, brand new neighborhood, everything around me is brand new, and just in a couple of months, I have already seen 2 water damage restoration trucks parked outside of my house within 10 houses of me. That's how much water damage is going on everywhere, guys. It's everywhere. And I can't tell you how many times we wound up getting a water damage restoration job from the internet from somebody that just lived right down the street from me, okay? I wound up paying $700 for a phone call from a pay-per-call site because they didn't call me direct because they didn't know who I was or what I did. Well, I'm not telling you to go spend a bunch. I'm not telling you to start a podcast or any of that. I'm just telling you this. You can go on Facebook, you can go on Instagram and just tell everybody, hey man, my name is Shane O'Dazier and I own Atme Restoration. If you guys have any fire, water, mold problems in your business, I'm the one to call. I'm telling you, it's for like, you want to put your message out to market. Everybody needs to know who you are, and you can do that through Facebook stories or Instagram stories. Every 24 hours it goes away. That is how you need to be using social media in your content management, okay? Be putting it out to where everybody knows who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Who are you, what do you do, and how can you help? And then be entertaining, you know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully I'm entertaining and engaging when I go through this. I'm obviously a good looking guy. That's probably why you're watching this now. I'm obviously funny. I'm telling jokes like I just did. But seriously, you want to be entertaining. You want to be engaging as much as you can. And if you guys like, I've been doing this for years. So that's the reason why I I guess I have the flow that I have, is I've been doing it a long, long time. I've been speaking to a camera for a long time. But hey, go look at my old stuff, dude. It was horrible, okay? Let me tell you where else that helps. In hiring, you need, every time you need to hire somebody, putting it out to your network is gonna be the best. For years, we did okay hiring people off of Craigslist and then Indeed, but I'm telling you, it broke. You can't find water damage restoration technicians from those channels anymore. The best way to do it is to put your message to your network and tell them who you are, what you do, and who you're looking for, okay? Who you are, what you're doing, what you're looking for, and you need to pay a referral fee to land that person. And Shane, I don't want to pay a referral fee. Baby, you're the one trying to run $1 million company. You're going to pay to play, all right? You need to put out a $2,000 referral fee, and you're going to tell them anybody that puts me in contact with somebody that I hire, I will pay you a $2,000 referral fee. And you pay them $500 right then, and another $1,500 at day 60 or day 90 once they've made it through the probation period, okay? That's the best way to hire people, and that's going to be through social media management. Now, email marketing too. Email marketing is good. Email marketing works more for your existing buyers list. Here's where it works well. If you've got like heavy rains coming up or a freeze event or something, sending out an email to your list, telling everybody what to do, or at that certain time of year, that will be good for them. Like opening or closing the crawl space vents. Hey, I'm in front of you. My name is Shane. I own this company. If you want us to do it, we're here to do it. And then another one would be, if you've had a frozen pipe event, guys, in case you don't know, once pipes freeze at the end of the year, the spigots will break, okay? But they won't actually start leaking until they turn on the water the following spring. Drop a comment down below if you've seen this happen. I'm telling you, as soon as the irrigation turns on in April or in May, those people go turn on the spigots to try and water their lawn, and then boom, water will go shooting into that inside the house because they had frozen pipe event, and that frozen pipe broke the spigot, but the spigot didn't start leaking until May. Ironically enough, those only happen on the frost-free spigots, the new ones. I don't know what that even means. I can tell the old ones from 1950, they don't leak. The ones from freaking 2022, they break. So, and they're frost-free, whatever that means. I guess when it's frost, they freely shoot water in the house. Happened to me at my own house, okay? But email marketing works well for that, okay? Those are good examples. You're giving them tips and tricks on how to leave the cabinet doors open during freeze events, something to do with storms. It's a good way to stay in front of your team or your audience when you're doing that, okay? So that'll wrap up your content marketing, social media, and your email marketing. Now, the next one is going to be your emergency response plans. These are going to be what you'll put together when you want to land commercial projects, okay? Like if you want to dry out hotels, emergency response plan. If you want to try out a series of nursing homes, emergency response plan. If you want to work with a business that has multiple locations, emergency response plan. Okay, again, these are going to be commercial projects. Hotels are a really big one because they'll normally be like one hospitality chain runs several. So you'll get one emergency response plan put together for that hotel, and then you guys will put together specific ones for any other chains or any other locations that need to be. But that's going to be where you're going to stay in advance. If something happens, what happens next? Who do we call? How does it work? What is the threshold for a claim, etc. Okay, that's going to be an emergency response plan. What's what that is. The nursing homes are good ones too because they have a lot of pipe breaks. I can't tell you how many nursing homes. I guess it's because of old people and there's a lot of commodes, but then they have a lot of sprinkler breaks. I can't tell you how many sprinkler breaks we did for nursing homes. Nursing homes are a really good one. Put together emergency response plan. And then just like anything that's a multi-location deal, we would do salons, dental offices, if they got a dental office that's got multiple locations. We had a salon that we would do, I think they had like 12 or 13 locations in Nashville. Dude, we would get a water job from them every other month, okay? Just from all their stuff. And again, if you think about it, dentists, they got all the little water stations. Old people, they got all the water going on around there. All those bathrooms, all those faucets. Oh yeah, the salons, because they're sitting there and washing their hair at all these stations. Anywhere where you got a lot of plumbing, guys, these are good places to be. Okay, but you can put together emergency response plans, and those will help you land your commercial projects. If you are putting together a commercial response plan, here's what you want to do when you're trying to land this thing. Find out, do they already have one in place? And if so, what is it? And why are they talking to you now? If they were satisfied with their current plan, they wouldn't be talking to you. If they don't have a current plan, cool. Well, why do you need one now? I just want to know, because you want to get the background information. Did something happen before? If so, what was it? Have they ever tried one before? If they tried and it didn't work, you don't want to know what they did that didn't work, so you make sure that you don't build one or a plan that looks just like the one that they tried that didn't work, okay? Ask a lot of questions. Have they ever done it before? If so, with who? What worked well? What didn't work, okay? and get all that information for you, put that together. And again, if you know what you're doing, go to workwithshane.com. We can get on a call and tell you all about it, okay? But the emergency response plan will help you land your commercial projects, all right? And a lot of the ones you're gonna be doing are gonna be cash jobs. A lot of these will be cash jobs, but you will put stuff in place if it does become an emergency job that turns into an insurance claim. You'll discuss all of that as well. All right, so let's bring this thing on in for landing. At this point, we spoke about a handful of things. We talked about the internet. We've talked about referrals and insurance agents and plumbers. We talked about emergency response plans, content marketing, etc. So let's talk about the fastest path to get water damage leads. The fastest path by far, no question about it. That was a horrible drum roll. The fastest path by far is the internet, okay? I would start with your pay-per-call stuff because you don't have to interview an agency to do AdWords. You don't need to do the AdWords yourself. You can go hire somebody like 33 or Service Direct to run pay-per-call, pay-per-lead. If there's not room in your market, you can buy plumbing leads too, answer the phone, scrape that for a water damage lead, give the plumbing lead to a plumber as goodwill as part of our servant marketing method. I know we're covering a lot right here, but this is what you can do. The internet is going to be the fastest path to water damage leads. That is the fastest, okay? But that is not the best, okay? Let's talk about the best. The best is referrals, and the best referral source is plumbers, and by far. Why? Tight service radius, we've talked about it already. They see more clean water jobs than anybody else. When I say clean, like they're clean policies. Plumbers will give you a lot of single family residence jobs, and a single family residence claim is the best. That policy is the best. When you're working commercial policies, it gets a little hairy, it gets a little wonky. When you're working with HOAs and condominiums, dude, if y'all done any of those, I'm telling you, you can run into some freaking nightmare policies when you're doing multifamily stuff like that. But a single family residence policy is gonna be the most straightforward plan that you can do, or the most straightforward policy. And a residential plumber is gonna give you more of those than anything else, okay? Tight service radius, they already know, like, and trust the client. They're already in the house. There is nothing better than getting water damage jobs from plumbers, okay? Now, that being said, if you guys have any questions, drop a comment down below. Let me know, okay? If you want me to help you grow your company, go to workwithshane.com. Otherwise, that's it, and I will see you in the next video. If you guys enjoyed that video, I've got 3 things for you. First off, there's a couple of other videos somewhere on the screen. You can click those now to go watch more content about growing your restoration company. Number 2, if you haven't already subscribed, click my face below and that will subscribe you to the channel. And finally, if you would like for me to help you grow your restoration company, go to workwithshane.com, put in your information, and let's get on a 15-minute call. We'll see you then.